All right, it's your homeboy Spankdog, aka Puffinstein at YouTube. Like, comment, share, subscribe. You already know. BC Spankdog at Instagram, on Facebook, Robert Lopez, and let's get into it. Um, yeah, stick around, people. We're gonna get into it. Um, there's a lot of things to talk about. I put this one just chatting, and that means that nothing's off limits. I'm probably gonna be on for a while because I haven't, been on live for a second. I've been under the weather, and I've just been working on edited videos. If you notice on the channel, you've been seeing Souls of Hip Hop and Souls of Sports, and you know um other things like that, or the quantum documentary, because they take a second to make. So when I don't want to go live, I'll work on stuff that I could do in my own time and at my own pace, and not have to worry about camming up, and you know so, but yeah, like I've been working on stuff that you work on and you don't have to be broadcasting live at the same time. I try to tell people that it adds an extra like step to your work, and for some people it comes natural. And like I said, I'm outspoken, I'm definitely not shy. I think I was forced to come out my shell because where I was at when I was young, I was gonna have to thump. And since my pops knew that I was gonna have to put my hands up, he decided not to let me fall into a category of that of a person who's shy, timid. So it was good though, by nature I'm shy a little bit, and by not, I wouldn't even say shy, I would say peaceful, you know but I've learned that peace don't work all the time, and that's not me promoting any sort of fight, war, nothing like that. I'm just telling people that there comes a time where you got to stand up, and you're going to make the decision if you stand up or you don't. Now, like, people could look at you, but if you're a real person, you don't care what people think. So if you could live with yourself, getting punked, then, I'm not judging you. I can't live with myself getting punked to the point where I would literally be on some, if it gotta go that far, so be it. As I've gotten into my later years, I've come to understand that my son, my wife, is more important than me, like standing up for my manhood. But is it really about my manhood, or am I just being selfish and not thinking about my wife and my son? The only reason I talk about my son having a disorder is because it affects the situation so immensely that it's like hard for you to get an understanding unless I mention it sometimes. And you know, that's why I talk about it. I'm a gangster. I don't look for no pity parties. You ask people about me, you ask my loved ones, my friends, my family. I've never been dependent. Never. I would say though, the bout that I had with alcohol, that's the one time that I felt like I was lost, to the point where I actually did need help, and it came in the form of emotional, and I was doing fine with the money, but you realize that money can't fix everything at that moment. You know, you get hooked to a substance, right? And you're not doing bad financially, let's say, and the crazy thing is that even if you're doing good financially, you could be doing as good as Bill Gates. If you have an addiction, that money don't matter. That money don't matter. I gotta be careful with this one because you'll have me crying on live because my little brother had a bout that he lost, you know, and I was lucky enough to knock out the same opponent. And that's what you see in the video, the life. I mean, on the fight, In the fight, I say I had a fight with the booze, a fight most lose. A gifted rap singer was in the ring with a ringer, but I ain't just a rapper, I'm so much more. I'm a thumper who can score, the streets are in my core. Now, if it was genetics, I got it from my mom, but that's a load of crap. Or is there truth to that? See, in my opinion, I just like to get high. It is the truth you need. It started out with weed. I caught a little case in it. They trumped up the charge. The cop, he told the lie. He was not an honest guy. But this was the thing. On probation, couldn't cope. I was fiending for a toke or a substitute to cope. Oh, what a mistake. Wish I could go back in time. But the battle would ensue for my life and what to do. The progression was slow, because at first I had a grip. But soon I'd start to slip. I was going on a trip. A fight with the beast. I was going to the belly. For the fight I wasn't ready. He had me dropping steady. Thoughts of my son. I told an angel give me strength because the fight would last for years. And at times I'd be in tears. The arena had no crowd because I keep it to myself. Taking tolls on my wealth. Taking tolls on my health. Panic attacks. I was trapped inside the cribs. I can't take it no more. So I caught him in the ribs. He was down for a few, but he's right back up. Stronger than fuck. Have I ran out of luck? I went to withdraw, but it made it even worse. Hallucinations and shivers. Chest pains from this curse. Out the corner of my eyes, I seen cheerings from my friends. In the in the crowd, I saw my friends. In the crowd, I saw my fam. Some shit like that. But yeah, I know what I'm talking about. Go check out the fight. It's about how I had a 10-year fight with booze, and the progression was slow. And by the time I hit year like 7, I was bugging out. You know, that will make you. Let me tell you something. When people struggle with alcohol abuse, um, it makes you lose your mind. You know what I'm saying? And I can't speak for everybody, but you know, it got to the point where I seen things that weren't there, and it happened for the shortest amount of time. Right at the very end, right before I quit, I um I was gonna go into a rehab, and for the first time in my life ever, I seen hallucinations. And I'm not talking about the wanna be a drama king, talking like something happened that didn't just because I want to tell a story. Nah, like big facts. Like I seen stuff that wasn't there, bro. My phone had turned off, and when I looked at the screen had cartoons on the screen. They were real. They were light. The cartoon, like if the battery was dying, and it was actually the fact that there was nothing on the screen. I was seeing stuff that I wasn't supposed to be seeing, and it was the fact that I hadn't had nothing to drink in a certain amount of time, so I was withdrawing, and I started to hallucinate. And then When I came home from the rehab, I didn't get in because they didn't accept my insurance. So when I come home, I'm like, I'm gonna fight it myself. I ended up winning, thank God. I wouldn't recommend it in certain situations because if you go through alcohol withdrawal, it could be dangerous. So, but anyway, so when I come home that night, I seen a string like slither up my mattress, and I said, "What is that?" It looked like if a piece of string had turned into a snake, and it was wiggling, slithering, and then all of a sudden, it turned into the shape of a star. I mean, of a spider, but on all its legs, and it started crawling like a spider, and I freaked out. I've never seen nothing like that. Well, you know what's crazy? I said I've never seen nothing like that in my life. That's actually something I didn't see. But you think you're seeing it. When you see a string slither up your mattress and turn into a spider shape and start walking like a spider, you need to quit drinking. You know what I'm saying? That's big facts. You know, but it feels good to be back on live. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, when I'm under the weather, you'll see me throw up the avatar. But usually I like to make sure that people, can see me, make that connection. But right now it's irrelevant. You know what I'm saying? My man asked me, what do I consider myself? Because he's gonna help me. We're gonna get this page rocking. So he was telling me, in a nutshell, if I gave you just a few characters, how would you summarize yourself? Like make it like three things, three lines. I told him I'm a rap artist, I'm a content creator, and I'm a professional editor, you know. But I told him I also make beats. The only thing is with the beats is I don't know my way around the equipment like I do with the editing. And when it comes to writing a rhyme, that's simple. You just give me a pen and a paper. I don't even need a beat, but you could give me a beat, or you want me to write it without the beat, I'll write it without the beat. But when it comes to what the number one is, it's the rap still. Let me tell you something. Now that I've had this channel for a while, I've seen what people like and what they don't like that I make. They love when I make the music videos. I mean, they love it. You know what's crazy too? I try to tell people, but I don't want to be on some. Why do you watch him and he's stupid and you don't watch me? Sounds like you hating, but I really don't understand how like I'll see some weirdo or some bum ass nigga, and excuse my language, and he got 1 million followers from doing some lame stuff, and I'm over here keeping it official. And it's harder, you know, but at the end of it all, you want to do it right. There was somebody the other day that was going through some stuff. I forgot who it was. Oh, it was Michael B. Jordan. My man Wallace from The Wire. But yeah, Michael B. Jordan. Everybody knows who Michael B. Jordan is. He plays Creed in the new Rocky films. Well, now it's Creed, but it ties into Rocky. So, but Michael B. Jordan, right? He was going through some shit, and he said in his like they interviewed him, or a person who does interviews got him to answer a question, and he told him, Mike, what you think about what's going on or whatever, some shit like that. And he was like, yo, they try to tear me down. He was like, and he's like, I know there's other dudes out there that deserve to what they get, and then there's dudes that they go after that don't deserve shit, that they target innocent people. And he said, all I want to tell anybody out there that's doing what they do, don't give up. Just keep going. and it touched me. I don't really be on it like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't really do the influencing thing. I don't think it's not that I don't think that there's people out there that don't got good advice. I think I could influence people in a good way. But you know, it's hard to get money the way the influencers get money and be sincere. You know what I'm saying? And I'm a sincere person. You know what I'm saying? But Michael B. Jordan said, "Don't give up." And it's crazy because I put it in my memo pad, and every time like I feel like I should stop doing whatever, whether it be the rap or the YouTube channel or whatever. I think about that quote. He said something to the effect of that like he was feeling like giving up and he kept going and look at what happened. You know what I'm saying? That's dope. I got something coming for you guys. I take requests for the documentaries just so people know. And the documentary that my friend requested was about Blake Lively. It's not even my friend, it's my sister. You know what I'm saying? So my wifey told me that she said that she would like to see a report on some Blake Lively stuff. So I said tell her I got her. And right now I'm working on the Blake Lively documentary. You know how I do the Souls of Hip Hop and I do the Souls of Sports. Well, I'm gonna do Souls of Hollywood, and I got one coming about Blake Lively. It's good. It's good. To be honest with you about the Blake Lively situation, she overstepped her boundaries. I didn't know nothing about that case. I went from not knowing nothing about what was going on with that. But since my sister asked me to do a little report on it, now I know the whole thing. Not the whole thing. It's not like I hung out with them, but I'm saying like I understand that she was trying to play director and actress at the same time. Now it's good. Like you see how I do beats, even though I rap. Now if I do a song and I get me a beat producer and I rap, if I'm not gonna make the beat myself, if I want to just tackle the rapping aspect, I'm not gonna hire a producer and heck and stalk him and bother him about the. So they had a director. The position was filled. They didn't need no directing help. I think Blake Lively looked at. The movie is called "It Ends with Us," I believe. But I think she's seen it as her breakout role. I think it's that dramatic a role where they could have seen how great an actress she was, and I think she got worried and she started doing things that weren't cool, and she was in denial, and she needed to fall back and let the directors and then people do their job, and she needed to concentrate on her acting performance. Because if she would have locked in on acting, she gets best supporting actress or best actress, at the Oscars, you know. But anyway, you know what I was gonna say. Yeah, like I said, we just chilling, man. We just chatting. Leave a comment. If y'all guys got something on your noggin you want to talk about, tell your boy. You already know. If y'all got any requests, hit me up. My email is roblock10@msn.com. And if you want, I also check my Puffinstein at Gmail. So you can hit me up at robblock10@msn.com, or how you call it, Puffinstein at Gmail. Let me know if you got anything you want me to do, any requests, and I got you. Right now, the Blake Lively documentary is looking like it's going to be 53 minutes long, but I might have to trim that. You know what I'm saying? I've already spent like about a week on it, and like I said, when I disappear, that means not only may I be feeling under the weather, I have a couple of illnesses, but it also could mean that I'm working on something that takes editing work, and I don't got time to do live broadcasts for a second, you know. All right, so we talk sports for a second, real quick. Y'all know that I'm the basketball guru. You know what I'm saying? Like, I challenge anybody when it comes to knowing about basketball in the present. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm good at sports overall, but when we talk about trivia, the one thing that I would say that I'm good with would be hip hop, and it would be not just basketball overall, because I would say basketball overall, but there's guys when it comes to basketball overall that they'll slay me. So, but if we talk about basketball in the now, like the present, I am very well versed, people. So, if you guys want to talk about anything, about any player, Victor Wembanyama, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, Jason Tatum, Donovan Mitchell, Trae Young, um, John Morant. You know what's crazy? John Morant, sometimes when you play basketball and you go through something, it don't affect you, and then sometimes when you come back, you know, all sorts of stuff can happen. There's times where I didn't play basketball, and when I got back to the court, I played my best games ever, and it's because like you miss playing. But John Morant has taken a little bit of time to get back to his normal self. But don't sleep on John Morant. I think John Morant's coming back. I think even though some people wouldn't have been affected with the whole going through the legal matters and stuff, I don't even like talking about it because I don't like to blow up people's history. You know what I'm saying? But I think if that don't happen, he's playing at a really high level. Um, I think he's a guy that it did kind of get him, and I think it's gonna take a second for him to get back to his max level. Because John Morant, when he's at his max level, he's a different kind of player. He's scary. John Morant is very good, you know. So what I was gonna tell you guys was, if you guys wanna, like I said, man, we're gonna step it up on the channel. Link up with me. I gave you the emails. Hit me up, and yeah, we could talk about the old days. I got a lot of friends right on my Facebook from Grover, Cleveland, and I miss a lot of you guys. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Cleveland brings back so many memories. It's crazy, you know. Definitely, I love junior high school. I ain't gonna front, but going to Grover, Cleveland are my best memories ever. Right around that time, we were all hanging out at the two pool rooms. We had the pool room on Putnam and Cypress, right there off Myrtle Avenue. And then after that started to get to the point where they closed it down, they put the other pool room on Catalpa, and we used to frequent the pool room on Catalpa. And yes, there were a lot of beefs. And yes, there were beefs that went to levels beyond just a fair fight. You know what I'm saying? Even though I wish they could have all been fair fights, it wasn't like that, but I've done a good job of not relying on the fact that I was out there like that. And I've done stuff dudes can't do, you know and I don't rely on that for people to respect me as a person, to know that I'm talented. Because let me tell you something, man, I'm nasty with that editing shit. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't even go the right route. You see, I'm a knucklehead. Don't be a knucklehead like me. You know what knuckleheads do? They think they're so smart that they buy a piece of equipment like a Phantom XA, an MPC 2000, and they think that they could learn it just by playing around with it. That's why you get discouraged, because you never took the time to learn how to use it properly. Now, if you would have, went by the book, and when you ran into something that wasn't in your vocabulary, you went and looked it up online or asked somebody or actually used the dictionary, you would be able to figure out what you don't understand in the manual. Now, when you see a manual, it's discouraging, because any young person that sees a book that big that explains your equipment, because the Phantom XA, that's a workstation. Equipment like that is intricate. There's a lot of pages you gotta read to know it like the back of your hand. I used to have a hard time just bringing up the metronome. So, but yeah, like I said, my advice to anybody, listen, if anybody out there is listening to me and they're young and they're getting their first shots at demonstrating how good they are artistically, follow the book. I'm talking about the manual. I'm talking about going to YouTube and watching tutorials. I'm talking about all that. You know what I'm saying? People keep hearing me talk about quantum. Now, I'm not the guy that talks what he don't know. You understand? So when people hear me talk about the quantum, they'd be like, Spank's bugging. I'm not bugging. If you guys are ready to see magic, get ready with quantum, because this is information that I hear that, I don't need people to how you call it, explain everything to me. I don't need people to how would you call it, break it down. When they talk about quantum, I know what they're saying. They're saying that we're about to hit on some technology that's so advanced, it's scary. We're talking about Terminator 3, Cyberdyne, the computers become self-aware. We're talking about being able to communicate with other galaxies and so much more. Talking about medicine and doctors being able to do procedures they never thought possible. And I don't want to talk too much about the quantum, because I'm a fan of Professor Dave's channel. And Professor Dave is very blunt when he's telling you the truth. And Professor Dave knows that I don't understand quantum 100%, but I'm not the guy that he would ever have to expose. I'm an honest man. I expose myself, and there's nothing to be ashamed of that you don't know quantum. If you watch Big Bang Theory, I think Sheldon is the quantum physicist. I forget what his job title is, but you got to learn a whole bunch of stuff. You're not supposed to know about that. If you understood quantum 100%, you should have a job at a laboratory somewhere. You know what I'm saying? But that don't mean when you hear quantum can be the cause behind something revolutionary, that doesn't mean you can't become intrigued. You know what I'm saying? You know, um, what I was gonna say. Oh man, the politics are crazy too. Like the politics. I'll be easy right now because you guys, y'all, you really know, man. If you want to know how I feel politically, you could just go to my Facebook and read past posts because you don't need to hear no more politics from me. You know, you already. First of all, I'm just wild. I've always been wild. I tell people don't label me a Democrat, don't label me a Republican, don't label me liberal, don't label me whatever other party they got out there. You know, I'm down with the Spanky party, with the Spank Dog party. You know what I'm saying? I'm down with the calle. How you say streets in Spanish? Calle. My Spanish is horrible, but yeah, man. I'm down for mi barrio, homes. You feel me? I said, you know. But it's what's crazy is matter of fact, let me let me share this with you guys, cause the NBA season started. I mean the playoffs started already. I think the play-in tournament already happened. I think Zach LaVine and the Sacramento Kings played the Chicago Bulls. I'm gonna share the screen with you guys. All right. So we're gonna get into sports real quick. You know what I'm saying? You know, this is my favorite thing to share with you guys. Nikola Jokic is MVP. You guys, I told you guys he's number one in the world. And if you don't believe me, I'll highlight it right here. Look, I highlighted Nikola Jokic. Look at that. That's all his numbers. 29 points a game, 10.3 assists per game. Oh man, he's gonna finish the season with a triple-double. Oh, please let him keep up the assists. Right now, this man, if the season were gonna finish today, he's played 62 games and he's averaging 29.1 points per game, 12.8 rebounds per game, and 10.3 assists per game. This man at 7 foot tall, a chubby center, is averaging 2 steals per game, people. This is a different kind of player. This is craziness. You know, there's a lot of great players that came along, but Nikola Jokic is going to win his 4th MVP in 5 years. And the one that Joel Embiid won over him that year, that cut the streak, because he would have won 5 in a row. And I think that would have been a record. I don't think any NBA player has ever won 5 MVPs, regular season MVPs in a row. So Nikola Jokic is up for his 4th MVP in 5 years. And some people say the year that Joel Embiid won it over Jokic, people say, including me, Jokic should have won it that year. It was very close, and I'm okay with them giving it to the other guy, because, it was almost a tie that year. But Nikola Jokic had actually edged him out. So if you want it to be 100% fair, Nikola Jokic is supposed to be a 5-time MVP, not just a 5-time MVP, 5 years in a row. So, I'm gonna bring up another page. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go to the standings in a second to see how the games are going. But right now, for the regular season, oh no, they're not in the play-ins yet. Thank God. All right. I could tell from the amount of games played that they still got 20 games left. All right, guys. No playoff tournament yet. No play-in tournament. You know what it was that had me thinking that? The Sacramento Kings played the Chicago Bulls, and they're around the same play-in spot right now. If the season was to end today, and the way they phrased the commercial, it made me think that we were already over with 82 games. But now that I see they've only played about 62 to 64 games, then I know that the season ain't over. There's still 20 games left. All right. So, but Cade Cunningham, let's highlight Cade. If you want to go by an order, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Anthony Davis, Luka Doncic, LeBron James. Yo, listen. First of all, for people who don't know, Luka Doncic is back. Him and LeBron are on the same team together, and they're averaging. Luka is averaging 27 points a game, and LeBron is averaging 25 points per game. Now, Anthony Davis is right there with Luka Doncic. If you look at the list, look at this, guys. This is how crazy. Yo, the NBA is crazy this year, bro. Check this out, guys. All right, give me 1 second. All right, let me try it like this. Yeah, this should work. All right, I got it, guys. I found a way to do it. Bang. All right, Anthony Davis, Luka Doncic, and LeBron James. They are all right next to each other. If you're looking at the page, then you'll see that I can't. This is insane. You know who got traded? Who was it? It was Anthony Davis for Luka Doncic, right? Look at these guys. They're all next to each other. And it's crazy. Big shout out to Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis is the 4th best player in the world right now. And a man his size to be playing as long as he's been playing and still number 4 in the world, that is good. The only person we could compare to like that is Giannis. Giannis came out around the same time as Anthony Davis, and they're both big and they're holding their own. Giannis Antetokounmpo is in 2nd place, and Anthony Davis is in 4th place. And they got a little age on them. But Anthony Davis, man, big shout out to him. See, Giannis Antetokounmpo is in the top 5 every year. Anthony Davis is not. He's been there before, you know. But yo, what's up with Cade Cunningham, man? Big shout out to Cade, man. Cade Cunningham is out of sight. Yeah, man. You guys got to remember, he came out in 2021. Do me a favor, close that door, Mama Love. I'm broadcasting live right now. So, it can be heard. Thank you. Yeah, that's as good as you can. Thank you. All right. So, yeah, man, look at Cade Cunningham and look at Karl Anthony Towns. I didn't expect him to hold the 7 or 8 spot, Karl Anthony Towns, but he's still in the top 10. The Knicks got paid. Let's see where Julius Randle is. Cade Cunningham is killing it. 26 points a game, 9 assists, and 6 rebounds. Come on, guys. 26, 9, and 6 with 1 steal per game. That's why I tell you, Cade Cunningham is a point guard. He's supposed to be stealing the ball at a decent rate. Jokic got, let me see something. Yeah, while Cade Cunningham steals the ball only once per game, Nikola Jokic, who is taller, like 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 flabbier, not as in shape, he averages 1.8 steals per game, while Cade Cunningham, a pure point guard, only has 1 steal per game. Victor Wembanyama is another crazy unicorn, but yeah, Cade Cunningham. Let's look at the Karl Anthony Towns stats. Yeah, man. When we traded for Karl Anthony Towns, look at him in number 10. And I'm rooting for Julius Randle, but just the fact of the matter is, oh man, this guy is not even in the top 50. You guys got smashed in the trade. Thanks for the gift. I don't even mean to gloat because I know the Knicks are on like a losing streak. Man, I don't care. Karl Anthony Towns is the 10th best player on the planet. And let me see if I got this right. Julius Randle, he is not even in the top 50 players, guys. Ivica Zubac is in the top 50 at number 37. Ivica Zubac is doing better than Julius Randle. And you gave us the 10th best player in the world for a guy that isn't even in the top 50. I'm happy, and I'm not, my heart goes out to the Timberwolves fans. I don't know what made them think. If they would have asked me, I could have advised them better because I know not enough about basketball where I know Karl Anthony Towns is always high in the ranking, and that Julius Randle could be in the top 50 one year and not even be in the top 50 another year. So I would have never traded Karl Anthony Towns for Julius Randle, and I am shocked that the Minnesota Timberwolves did. Yeah, Minnesota Timberwolves. Julius Randle. Am I getting it confused? No, Anthony Edwards, Julius Randle, and oh no, see, I'm getting the Mavericks confused with the Timberwolves. The colors look so much alike, But anyway, it's Anthony Davis with Kyrie Irving and Anthony Edwards with Julius Randle. Like, why would you put Anthony Edwards with Julius Randle and Rudy Gobert when you could have had Karl Anthony Towns with Anthony Edwards? They weren't fitting, and Karl Anthony Towns was in Minnesota for about 8 years. It was longer, maybe like 10 years. It was time for him to pack his bags. That was it. Big shout out to Domantas Sabonis, man. Yo, Domantas Sabonis is a hustler. He is a hustler. He makes himself. He's in the 11th. He's ranked 11th in the world in the NBA, and this is off of 19 points. But this is because he has 14 rebounds a game. He's the rebound leader. 14 rebounds per game. And he manages to get 6 assists to go along with that. So this guy is giving you 20, 14, and 6. That's nice. Kevin Durant is amazing. He is another one that's just like, wow, the longevity is insane. Look at Kevin Durant. He's the 12th best player in the world after Domantas Sabonis. Yo, listen, guys. We might have a shot at Zion. I think his status, what is that, GTD? Game to game. I think he's like a day-to-day type thing, GTD. But listen, there's still hope for Zion. Just let him play already, man. If his knee pops out, if his bone pops out his knee, his bone pops out his knee. He's already been playing since 2019. It's 6 years already. He hardly has any games in his resume. Let him play. I don't mean that about his leg giving out. Of course not. But still, though, bro, like, let the dude play. When he plays, he's a monster. Look at these stats. 24.6. Is it? Do I have it on the street? Yeah, look at Zion's stats, man, when he plays. Look at this, man. 24.6 points per game, 7.2 rebounds, 5.3 assists. And do you see that field goal percentage? You know, it's crazy that he wasted 6 years. But this guy is so dangerous. If he gets it together, he can be a problem. It's a shame that he's starting 6 years late. But the good thing was that he came out early. He came out at 19. It's not something you can't fix. But yo, Zion, man, no disrespect. Put the cheeseburger down, bro. No disrespect. That's big facts. I'm serious. You know, the opportunity is tremendous. Put the cheeseburger down, bro. You know. Let me stop sharing that real quick. But yeah, man, Zion's losing his mind, man. How you got $200 million? I think he already signed for a big contract. So he got a payday for barely playing. And if he could just get a solid year next year, I think after next year he gets re-signed again. You know, it'd be crazy if he puts up 35 points a game next year. And they're like, oh my God, we got to sign him. Anyway, let me check out that real quick. Again, I'll check it out without sharing it with you guys. Yo, my thing really is SGA, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Like, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is he's an anomaly. You know, first of all, everybody that's around him is like a unicorn. So the only person that's there that's under 6'8" is Shai. Nikola Jokic, 7 foot. Giannis Antetokounmpo, 7 foot. Then you got Shai, 6'5", 6'6". Then you got Anthony Davis, 7 foot. Luka Doncic is also around Shai's height, like 6'6", 6'7", 6'5". LeBron James, 6'9", and pure muscle. Victor Wembanyama, 7'4". Cade Cunningham. You know, I want to know Cade's height. Well, Jason Tatum is there. He's 6'10". I'm gonna look at both of them. Jason Tatum is 6'8". Okay? And now let's check Cade Cunningham. 6'6". Okay, so he's there with Luka and Shai Gilgeous. I'm gonna check Shai Gilgeous. 6'6", just like Cade. And then I looked at Luka the other day. I think he was 6'6", 6'5". Let's check that one last. Luka Doncic is another one, man. All right, yeah, listen, they're all 6'6", man. Listen, your boy is telling you right now, the 3 guys in the top 10 that are the shortest are Luka Doncic, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and Cade Cunningham. Now, these 3 guys that are in the top 10, They are all 6'6" on the dot, all three of them. So Doncic 6'6", Cunningham 6'6", and SGA 6'6", and then everybody else is like 6'8" and better. You know, so big props to Luka, SGA, and Cade for being not the tallest and still being in the top 10. You know, there's always so much stuff that I want to talk to you guys about, and then, you know, I go to talk to you guys and I forget a lot of stuff. You know, I would tell you guys, don't be scared of AI. Don't look at AI as a cheat. It doesn't do the work for you 100%. You know, you can get help. You could utilize it as a tool. But let me tell you something. If you have to do a big calculation, right? And you're, let's say, in not construction, what's the other one? Architecture. And you need precise measurements, you know, that you could get through a calculator. Are you going to pull out a pen and pad and do it the long way? You understand what I'm saying? That's what the equivalent of AI is. AI is like a calculator, you know, and you could utilize it to help you write your reports. You could make it write a report without you, but I would never do that. Whenever I do a report with I call him G, but it's my chat bot. I tell him every intricacy, every detail that I want included in the report, and then he'll write it. If you notice certain reports, you'll notice that they're geared a certain way. It's because that's me tailoring them. You understand? Then to top it off, after that, now I don't got no help, because everything else is now it's on me, because I gotta once the things are generated, I gotta edit. There is no AI for my editing, so all the patches, the trimming, you know, there's a lot of stuff, the effects, the animations, everything that's involved, I do myself. There is no AI help for that. So just know that people, you know, it's listen, man. It's just like, why go the long way when you could go the short way, you know? And it's like I said, there's a certain instance where it's no good. Don't use AI. Like when I write my rhyme, I write my rhyme. For the people out there that would utilize Chat GPT for a rhyme, that's not my style. I'm not gonna judge you for it. You understand what I'm saying? You know, if there's people that believe that it's that bad, then whatever backlash comes with it, comes with it. But I'm not gonna be the guy that says I use it for little things, and then when somebody uses it for something big, I start talking a lot of shit about them. No, I'm not that guy. But I'm also not that guy that would use AI to write my rhyme. Every rhyme that I've ever written has been written by me, 100%. You got to remember, you know, if you look at most of my videos or some of my videos, they're 20 years ago. There wasn't no Chat GPT. Chat GPT was released in like 2021. Oh, I was talking about that you couldn't use Chat GPT if you were rhyming back in the days. That, you know, Chat GPT was something that was on the scene around 2021. So if you were going to use Chat GPT for writing a rhyme, you weren't really able to use it till like 2019, 2020, 2021. Yeah. You know, I don't hate on people. If you're gonna use Chat GPT to write a rhyme, that's up to you. Oh, my favorite rapper, there's a few. If you listen, I'm gonna give you a flat out answer. I'll go Nas. Lifetime. You gotta remember, I've been listening to rap since the '80s. You know, I was 5 years old when they played Sugar Hill Gang Rappers Delight on the radio. You know, that was the first rap song to be played on the radio. So, you know, but yeah, Nas, you want a flat out answer? I rap for listeners, blunt heads, fly ladies and prisoners, Hennessy holders and old school Brit niggas. Then I'll be dissing the unofficials that mold dooley tie. I dropped out of Coolie High, gassed to buy a cocaine cutie pie. Okay, let me see. Nas is fantastic. Have you heard Count the People by Jacob Collier? I'll put it on right now. I just can't let I won't let it play out loud because I'll get in trouble, but I'll listen to it real quick. Want people to know when you come in my chat, you good. This is like home base, you know what I'm saying? I'm a G. I don't, you know, we don't play those games. You gotta have a good heart if you come in here. If you don't got a good heart when you come in here, you get kicked out. All right, so Count the People by Jacob Collier. Let me type it in. Count the People. Jacob Collier. All right, we're about to hear it. I'll show you that I brought it up. Just so you know that I'm a man of my word, I'll show you that I actually went. Share screen. It's that song right there that says Jacob Collier. It's the one that's got the letters in the. It says "Sold the bullet in my blood." I'm gonna listen to it right now. Let me stop sharing it. And now let me listen to it. I'm gonna mute myself so they don't hear back. Yo, I had to come back real quick. That's super fire. That's wow. Thank you. Yeah, Cinnamon Cat. That's what's up right there. That's some deep stuff. You know, Jacob Collier. That's yeah. That's him rhyming fast like that. Cause I heard the girl. The girl sounds good too. I listen to everything. I've been sampling since I was young. So we used to have to go looking for old music like Earth, Wind and Fire, Barry White, um, Parliament Funkadelic. We sampled everything. Billy Joel, Doobie Brothers. We've done it all. Yeah, we're real music like geniuses. We love music. Yeah, digging in the crates. I listen to everything. Alternative. We used to listen to Bittersweet Symphony. I sampled Bittersweet Symphony a long time ago when it was a Nike commercial, you know, by the Verve. I love everything. You know, but that's good. That's going on my playlist for sure. I wish I could play it. Listen, let me tell you something. YouTube needs to make it where like me and Cinnamon Cat, let's say, could listen to the song together. Even if we gotta do a little 50 cent, a little dollar jump off, even like the movies. Like, for all of us to watch a movie together would be fire. I don't understand why YouTube don't make it like that. Shit, like all of us could watch Menace to Society together, or Goodfellas, or The Green Mile, or my favorite movie is Shawshank Redemption. I love Shawshank Redemption so much. Morgan Freeman. I don't ever want to hear nothing bad about Morgan Freeman. Thank God his I'm not a fan of nobody, but I have favorites. So Morgan Freeman is like one of my favorite actors ever. I would hate to hear any bad news about him. But yeah, man, they definitely got to make it where we should be able to watch media together. Reacting is cool, but they don't let you react to music videos or movies. So yeah, like all the classics. I would love to watch some classics with my people, my subscribers. You know what I'm saying? I had to get on, man, real quick. I've been off for a second. Like I said, I got a good documentary. Usually I cover the hip hop and the sports. But like I said, my sissy told me she got a request. She said she wanted me to do one on Blake Lively. So by tomorrow or the day after, I'll have the Blake Lively documentary for you guys. And it's good. It's good. I get better every time I do a documentary. Definitely go check out the Souls of Sports and the Souls of Hip Hop. And definitely the music videos. Glory Road, the one that when you come in, but Lisa Lopez, the one about my wife and about how she stopped me from drinking. I got two songs that, well, the fight is about me winning the fight with liquor after fighting him for 10 years. And I make it sound like I'm fighting him in the ring. And then I have another one about my wife. And in the one about my wife, it's called Lisa Lopez. I thank her for helping me quitting because it was killing me, Oh, all right, cool. I just seen that Cinnamon Cat. Check out Axel by Empty Set. All right, you seen I just the Jacob Collier. I got up to like 40 seconds and stopped it because I already knew it was dope like that. You know what I'm saying? What I was gonna say. I'm gonna get out of here, y'all. I got on for an hour real quick. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I feel a little under the weather. That when you see me with the avatar, that means that I'm not feeling the best. But I'm gonna check out Axel by Empty Set. My bad. But I'm gonna tell ya. Oh yeah, I'm all right. Thank you, Cinnamon Cat. That's dope. Let me highlight that one. That's definitely one that gotta get highlighted. That's love. You gotta highlight the love. But I'm gonna check out Axel by Empty Set. Much love to you, Cinnamon Cat. Much love to everybody out there. It's your boy Spankdogs signing off. And once I'm done with the Blake Lively documentary, y'all guys are gonna see me on more often. Much love, y'all.